Did I ghost you guys? I did, but we spent on shipping. Hello everyone! So, it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video. We are gonna get stuck into it. But before I do, I just wanna introduce myself or reintroduce myself. If this is your first video, weird video to pop in on. I doubt this is gonna be your first video. This video is mostly for people who have been following this channel for the last few years or so, and I really want to catch you up on 2022. So there will be a bunch of timestamps down below if you just want to skip ahead to all the hot goss. But the title of this video feels clickbaity, but is in fact the truth, which is shocking to me. But like I said, we will get into it. Okay, so introducing myself, I'm Julia of Zeke's Lunchbox. I'm an artist who makes YouTube videos. I've been on here for the last couple of years. Over the last few years, I've been documenting my process of a big project called Zeke's Arcana, the tarot card deck. I've been showing you guys the process of that deck over the last few years. From 2018 to 2021, 22. So really, it's been a 5-year project of getting this deck made, and we're going to do a big recap of that project, but we're also going to do a little chit chat about the state of this channel and my career in general, and also a bit of my personal life as well, to really catch you guys up on the hysteria, manic, crazy, depressive year that was 2022. So let's get into it. The tarot card project. So for those of you who followed over the last few years, from 2018 to around now, I'm going to say I've been working on a tarot card deck. I've been learning all about tarot. I've been pushing my art skills and really just dedicating my art practice and re-switching my whole career to be about this tarot card deck. So there were a lot of factors happening to make this deck happen, and gosh, it's really hard to summarize, but ultimately I've been hand painting a lot of the cards. In total, there were 80 cards in the tarot card deck that we then later ran a Kickstarter for to fund the production of the deck. Kind of all went according to plan, but there is a lot of emotional baggage that went with this massive project. I've never worked on a project this big in my entire artist career, and nor do I want to work on a project that big ever again. Now, the Kickstarter was really successful, mostly due to you guys and the community that we were fostering on this channel for the last few years. A lot of you guys got really emotionally attached to the project. It's really all we kind of discussed for years on end, and it was, now that I've had a bit of time to reflect on it, it's pretty incredible that we made it happen, and I'm really happy with the success of the tarot card project. So we ultimately raised over $100,000. We'd raised $114,000 Australian to be precise, and that was, I'm gonna be honest, went completely according to plan. I have a business partner, Julian, who used to work in marketing. That doesn't mean too much. We're both still complete and utter amateurs when it comes to running a business. But that being said, it did really help us in understanding how to get this product out to you guys in terms of getting eyeballs onto the project. So we were really happy with the results. We really planned the marketing to the next level. I can't say that I'm shocked or bewildered by raising that much, because we did the calculations and we really ultimately were just trying to get 1,000 people to buy the deck. And it all went according to plan, so we're really happy with that, right? The response for the tarot card deck is the part that I wasn't expecting. I wish there was some like juicy tea and like everybody hated it, but it's the complete opposite. I knew that we were going to make a product that was really special because I've been really discussing it and workshopping with the project and the product with you for years on end, so I really knew like what you guys wanted to see. I knew that time and love and effort really needed to be put into the cards and the artwork, and the design needed to be exquisite. All of that was really worth it, purely from the money that we raised and also the reception that you guys have given. Even people who have discovered our deck after the project and haven't witnessed this the progression over the last few years are blown away by the quality. You can see the reviews on our website. Everybody always talks about the quality of the cards and the manufacturing. We really didn't want to just like make something cheap and crap. The deck is definitely one of the most expensive ones on the market, but you are getting the quality. You get what you pay for, really. So we're really happy with the reception. Of course, the product is never going to be 100%. There's a little bit of critique here and there, but very minor things that if we do want to reproduce it in the future and do another run of the deck, we will tweak those things. Let's go through this year. Did I ghost you guys? I did. I didn't run away with the money. I did produce a product in the end and delivered it on time. Not on time. We delivered it late, but we did deliver it in the end. Let's just get into what happened over the last year, because from the last video that I made on this channel, it was kind of like tweaking the last little bits of the deck, and I kind of didn't post anymore, and I really just need to explain the whole of 2022 so you guys can understand what the heck happened. Okay, so from October to, I'm gonna say February, that time there, we were really spending on finishing the tarot card deck. I think there were about like 6 more artworks that needed to be finished. So I was wrapping that up, and then I was also finalizing the box, which needed a little bit of prototyping, a lot of back and forth with the manufacturer, and then also I made the booklet, which was like 80 pages as well. So over that time, I really needed to just focus on like wrapping up the project and making sure that everything was perfect. I just wasn't in the mindset to make videos at that point, and in my mind, over that time period, I was just going to focus on that, not make YouTube videos, because it was just too bewildering. Not just that, October to February, I don't know if anybody else gets this, those are crazy months. You've got all the holidays, it's summer in Australia, and also we haven't mentioned the elephant in the room. There was a pandemic. We had lockdowns for a good 2 years in the city that I was in. I reside in Melbourne in Australia, so the lockdowns were pretty intense and arduous and repetitive. And not just that, my, at the time, 9-year relationship was starting to break down. I think the culmination of the pandemic, being together, career stresses, you know, at the time transitioning into our 30s, there was a lot of compounding factors happening. So YouTube was really on the back of my mind. I had too much going on. So let's skip forward to February 2022. February 2022, everything came tumbling down. My ex-boyfriend and I broke up. We had been together for 9.5 years, so it was a lot to emotionally deal with, and then also have this project wrap up as well. So we're out of lockdown, I've broken up with my boyfriend, and this project has happened and come to a close. It was a lot to deal with emotionally, and I'm all of a sudden in this whole new stage in my life, and I have to do a lot of reassessing. So from February, I was trying to figure out, I was still wrapping up and designing the booklet for the tarot card project, and then I had to find a new place to live. That's what we are in right now. I've been in this apartment for a year now. It's officially my 1-year anniversary of living here and living by myself for the first time ever at 33 years old. You know, there's so much that happens when you break up with somebody that you've been with for almost a decade. You have to do so much reassessing of where you want your life to go. You're questioning who you are. You're learning who you are again, and I was so burnt out from doing the project and then the pandemic at the same time. I really needed a proper long period of time off. I had no idea it was going to be this long, but it was really worth it because I needed to really step back and reassess what was happening in my life. So I feel like that kind of catches you guys up on what the heck was happening. And you know, for all of last year, I was really assessing career, the type of person I am, the type of partner I want to have in the future, what I want out of my life in the future at all. Do I want to continue being an artist? Do I just want to simplify my life and become a graphic designer full time? Do I want to move cities? Do I want to move countries? You know, it was like a whole year of really reflecting and doing a lot of self-therapy. And 2022 was a year of me going on lots of long walks, listening to music and crying. So I hope you guys can empathize with that and just understand the intenseness and the severity of 2022. I'm really grateful that I had this project to fall back on. We'll get into the money side in a moment, but I'm grateful that this project, I don't know, things all kind of came together, and I'm grateful that the project ended so I did have some money to just rest. I think everybody is very burnt out from last year because it was like, yeah, we're all out, the things are easing with the pandemic, so now we all have to head out to the workforce. And then, you know, a new recession is coming in. So it's been, I think we're all incredibly tired. Now let's talk about the Kickstarter and the hell that was getting this deck out to you guys. So if you thought the actual making of the deck was hard, the logistics were a nightmare. Okay, so before we get into it, I do want to explain the very last card in my tarot card deck. It is a portrait of my ex-boyfriend. I mentioned on Instagram, if you guys want to follow me over there, I know a lot of people who follow me here are not on Instagram, so I understand that maybe you had no idea about this card and the meaning of it and how intimate this piece of artwork was for me to make. I was going to make a video for you guys. I think I filmed half of it when I was making that card. It feels weird posting it now because I'm in just such a different place, but it was a way of me to say goodbye to the project as well as say goodbye to my last relationship. It was a lot. I cried the whole time making that artwork, but it was a really nice send-off to this new phase in life. That card is really special to me, and it's really nice to just, I don't know, it's like a good bookend, like closing the chapter. Let's talk about the logistics of this Kickstarter. Now, when Julian and I were doing all the research for the Kickstarter, we did see that everybody who launches a Kickstarter really talks about the insanity that is the logistics part and trying to get all of the products out to everybody. To give it some more context, I have been selling merchandise, art prints, a couple of t-shirts and tote bags here and there on my online store for years prior. The most I've ever really sent out in one batch is like maybe, oh no, wait, we did a Kickstarter prior to that. So maybe like 100 or so things needed to be shipped out in one big bulk. You know, when it came to needing to send out 1,000 units of this deck, as well as all the other merch that was in our Kickstarter, I was so burnt out by that point that I just physically, I couldn't ship it out myself. It would just be too much, and the burden of that would have truly, I think, triggered like a nervous breakdown, because I was really on the cusp of like a really dark time in my life, really overwhelming, and we always had planned to outsource the shipping to a company in China. To anybody who has a small business and has used shipping facilities, you know they're a little bit of a nightmare to deal with. Let's talk about the actual making and the manufacturing of the tarot card deck. We have used a company called Wheel of Fortune. They specialize in tarot cards, but I think they more specialize in like playing cards. They really are the best of the best. We love Lena and Ivy from the company. I truly owe them everything. They are amazing to work with. Their products and printing are supreme. If you ever want to make your own deck or playing card deck, I will link them down below, but just know that they are quality, therefore incredibly expensive. The printing was totally fine. I have to put it into more context. It has been a lockdown in China, you know, for way longer than in Australia or the US or the UK, if you are watching in those locations. In China, they've been in a lockdown for forever. So manufacturing has been really difficult. And then also, I'm sure everybody knows there's been a massive supply chain problem as well. So all of these technical issues were an absolute nightmare to deal with. So our manufacturers, God bless them, you know, would have to sneak out to make this deck in a lockdown. They had to be a little bit sneaky in order to produce this deck for us. And then also we ran into the VAT tax issue in Europe. There's a miscommunication where we thought our logistics team could do that and send out the VAT tax thing themselves. Look, I can't speak on it too thoroughly because I didn't do a lot of it. This was Julian's side of the business to take care of the logistics, but we had to get our manufacturer to send out all of our European orders. The time frame we're talking in is about like from March to May. March to May, we were trying to work out how to ship things to Europe first and foremost. If you guys have made anything with Chinese manufacturers, like they're excellent at making what they specialize in. But if you need any sort of customization, or if you need them to do anything else that they're not used to the realm of, it's really hard to get them to do that. We eventually got around to getting all of the European orders out, and now it was time for us to ship off all of the decks over to the shipping facility. The shipping facility, you know, they were able to do everything pretty succinctly, pretty quickly. That being said, we were starting to deliver the rest of the decks pretty late. I think all of the delivery, we said we were going to get all the decks out to everybody in May. I think in the end we got everything out to people in like by the latest August. So it is a really late delivery, and that's like the part that really frustrates me, but at the same time it was completely out of our control. Julian has never done anything to this scale before, nor have I, so it was a huge learning curve, and we just didn't really know what we were doing, to be quite frank. But we got all of the decks out in the end. It just really cost us a butt ton, but we'll get into the costings in a moment. So about August or so, we have all of the decks out, and now we have to get the rest of the stock back into Australia. There are a couple of packages that went missing here and there. I think mostly there was one batch in Australia that went missing. That was really infuriating to us because all of our stock went missing and it was very expensive. So from the manufacturers to Australia, I think there was about 30 orders or so that just went missing. We've tried to contact the shipping guys. We've tried to contact the local Australian shipping guys and then the guys in China. Nothing. They can't tell us anything. They haven't given us a refund. We've just had to cop the L and pay for a service that wasn't delivered, and then we also lost that stock, and then we had to replenish that stock as well to those 30 missing orders. So that was a bit of a nightmare and really frustrating. And then also over this time period from October to, I'm gonna say October 2021 to November 22, we were still selling decks privately on PayPal, and that was a logistics nightmare as well. So I'm really just doing logistics for all of 2022 and trying to make sure that I can get the decks out to you guys. Now, the next nightmare of dealing with logistics was trying to end our service with the shipping company because it was really expensive to ship with them. And by this point, we didn't have a mass order of 1,000 decks to send out. So we really wanted the rest of our decks to come to Australia. By that point, we were still selling and pre-ordering decks, so we're desperately trying to get the rest of our stock in Australia so I can ship them out. Ultimately, they didn't want to lose our business, so they just stonewalled us and were pretty much just not telling us how to receive our stock. They kept on giving us outrageous quotes to get the stock back into Australia. To give you a rough idea, we're trying to get about, I think it was like 400 decks or so to come back into Australia. So the quotes that we were receiving from this logistics company were insane. So we were really shopping around and trying to get a new company to try and help us get this stock back into Australia. In the end, we found a place that specialize in getting books into Australia. They were absolute angels. Thank you so much to them. They are called Magnum Books, by the way. They didn't have to help us, considering they are moving like tens of thousands of books into Australia. To help a tiny independent business get 400 decks into Australia is like such a small job for them that it's incredible that they even took it on. From August to November, we were just trying to get the decks into Australia. It took so long and it was such a nightmare. Come November 2022, we get the decks here. I've pretty much pre-sold half of those decks by that point. I shipped out all of those decks, and then we also wholesaled a few of the decks as well. So in total, we started off with 1,500 decks. We sold 1,000 at the Kickstarter. We sold half in pre-sales, and now from November to now, I've been selling the rest of them off. So if you're watching this and you're like, wow, that's some pretty good money. I wish it was good money, you guys, but the profit on this has been absolutely pathetic. I wish we made more money. Money has been really, really stressful. So look, I'm gonna say 60% of the money that we raised for the Kickstarter was to make the deck and then ship it out. To give you a rough estimate, we spent, I don't even want to say the number because it's just so gross, but we spent $30,000 on shipping. It hurts my heart Whenever I bring that up to Julian, he's just like, la 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 la, please never say that ever again. It costs that much because we're using their service, and then also, I will say, the shipping from China to the US was quick. Like, what were the other options? I'd get 1,500 decks to live in my apartment, and then Julian would have to fly over here from Sydney and help me ship them out. It would have taken us like 6 weeks or something to ship it all out ourselves. So we really had no choice. Now, the rest of the stock that we've been selling, we've been wholesaling it, so not that much money has been made from there. And then also shipping the decks from the logistics company to Australia, all of the money that we've been making from the pre-sales pretty much just covered that. So in total, I think the profit that I made, I think like Julian and I split it about 60-40. I think I made like $24,000 in the end. He made around 17. $24,000 for 4 or 5 years of labor, working on it pretty much full time. I would love to know if you guys would think that's sufficient. I'm getting paid like slave labor. I'm paying myself absolute slave wages. So the money is sad. The money is so sad. I didn't do the project just for the money, of course. Like, we didn't lose money. We didn't spend any of our own money. The project sustained itself, and now we have a tiny little bit of money that we are making from the rest of the decks. I think we have like 50 decks left or so. And the rest of the money that we will be making from that will go towards future Kickstarter projects. So let's talk about the rest of my YouTube career, shall we? Okay, in my quest of discovering myself and reassessing my career, my life, yada yada, I was really thinking about, I was really thinking about like how I keep progressing with art. Like, how do I make this more sustainable? How do I create a better balance of everything? I mean, my solution was just to like ignore the problem for a really long time. I really like the community that we've made here. What I don't like about YouTube is the slog of making videos. So I was just trying to think about like, what's the best way for me to have the best of both worlds, right? I really thought for all of 2022, I kind of just thought like I wasn't gonna make YouTube videos anymore. And it's really only this year, the last 2 months where I've been like, I miss YouTube. I miss the community. I miss like really being able to talk about my art, the art industry, my career. I really miss like the quality and the conversation that you can get with YouTube. You can't get that with any other platform. I do think creator-driven projects, creator-driven brands, I think creators are still going to be where the future is at. So I want to continue making YouTube videos, but I think I needed to reframe the way I think about YouTube. I'm an artist first who puts YouTube videos out. I think for a while I was flipping that a little bit too much. I was trying to be a YouTuber who specialized in art making. I'm not on this earth to be a YouTuber. I'm on this planet to be an artist. I don't think I can commit to making videos weekly. I don't even think I can commit to making videos fortnightly. I know that's not a term in the US that I've learned recently, so bi-weekly, I think, is what people in the States use. I can't make them every 2 weeks. I don't even think I can make them every 3 weeks. I would like to aim for making a YouTube video every month, but more so, I just want to make YouTube videos that are centered around projects. So if I finished a painting, I want to celebrate and really talk about that painting on a YouTube video. So it's going to be more project-led rather than time-based. I don't know if that's really sustainable on YouTube. I know I still follow a lot of creators who are doing a home renovation and they post like every 6 weeks or so, and I'm excited to watch their videos. So I don't know if that's like sustainable or if that like fits the culture or the algorithm of YouTube. I don't think I quite frankly care, because the quality of the followers that watch the YouTube videos are, far surpass the amount that I can keep accumulating, if that makes sense. Oh, and another thing, I keep getting approached by people who want to like collaborate and make videos and me like selling their products. I don't care about that. Like I said, I'm an artist first who makes YouTube videos. So all the money that I'm trying to generate, all the projects that I would like you guys to support, are going to be my projects. I'm really not here to sell other people's stuff. To be honest, I'm here to sell my stuff. So that being said, a new limited edition print that I am shilling to you guys. Forgive me for trying to sell a new product and disappearing for so long and just, you know, making you guys buy stuff. But this artwork here is going to be, or it is, the very first card in the next deck we are making. I'm hoping by the end of 2024, we release a new Oracle deck. The deck will be based on astrology and animals. So it's kind of going to be like Pokemon meets astrology, and I'm really excited for that Oracle deck. I think it's going to be beautiful, and it's a really good excuse for me to make a lot of animals, which I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I really need an excuse to like really hone in on making creatures. So that's an exciting project for next year. I'll be back to tell you guys about projects that are happening this year. So let's focus on the caterpillar print. It has silver foil accents. It's truly, I think, the cutest animal I've ever painted. I'm really happy and proud of this artwork that I made last year. I didn't make much art last year, but this is truly, I think the quality of this one kind of speaks for itself. Just technically the fur is really fluffy in it. I think the lighting is really great. It just has a like cute innocence to it, but it's still got a little bit of gore and a bit of weirdness with the multiple arms and the eyes. So the way that this print is going to work is it will be sold on the 9th of March at 10 a.m. I will put the time conversions up for you guys, and then we will only have it be on sale until the following Monday. So I'll put all the dates up. So this is going to be a timed print where we are just opening up the pre-sale for a few days. Whatever sells in that time is all that we are going to manufacture. So everything's super limited edition, and this is the first time we've done a print in this method. So I'm excited for how many editions we're going to make. I have no idea how many are going to sell. If we just sell 20, then we just sold 20. That's perfectly fine for me. Then, you know, you guys will have a really, really limited edition print. That's really special. So all of them will be signed and numbered, and the quality of the print is really, really special. So I'm excited to get that out to you guys. Thank you so much for hearing me shill my artwork. This is my new studio. I might do a studio tour, but again, that's like YouTube-y content and not particularly like artists making YouTube videos. I might make that, really depends on how I feel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on my website getting the cat print. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Bye.